Hey guys, my international tourist destination is on Paris, France, a city of romance, culture, food, art, and fashion. Overview of Paris, France. Paris is the capital of France and has a population of 11,208,000 residents. It is located in the north-central part of France on the north-bending arc of the Seine River. Its highest elevation is Montmartre, which is 130 meters or 430 feet above sea level. Some unique facts about Paris. It is nicknamed the City of Lights due to it being the first European city to adopt streetlights. The French came up with the military dress code camouflage, which translates to makeup for the stage. The first Bloody Mary was made in Paris at the Ritz Hotel. The Louvre is the world's largest art museum with 38,000 pieces on display, including the Mona Lisa. Paris historical information. The history of Paris dates back to 7600 BC, where the Ile de la Cite was inhabited by the Gaelic tribe of the Parisi. Paris was then invaded by the Romans, and Julius Caesar wrote in his Comments diary in 52 BC that the inhabitants would rather burn their town than forge it over to the Romans. Many years later, in the 1st century AD, the town of Lutetia popped up and was spread west of the Seine River. Many centuries later, in the medieval era, the city was immensely improved. Streets paved, new towns were popping up. In 1200, King Philip II gave formal recognition to the University of Paris and was the recognition of Paris's 3 parts. Right at the Seine was the Mercantile Cours. The island was the main city, and left with the Seine held the academics. During the Renaissance, Paris was slowly transformed from a medieval society to a more modern city. The city got its first sphere with plays being held at the Hotel de Bourgogne, and the royal residence was transferred from the Hotel de Tournai to the Louvre. During the 19th century, the French Revolution broke out in Paris, including events such as the storming of the Bastille, the conveying of the king, and the National Constitution Assembly from Versailles to Paris. During the later half of the 19th century, many famous landmarks in Paris were constructed. The Trocadero in 1878 and the Eiffel Tower in 1889. The Eiffel Tower was only meant to be constructed for the World Fair, but has lived on into the modern world. After World War II, the construction of 2 other famous landmarks in Paris came about, the Pompidou Center in 1971 and the Arc de Triomphe in 1989. The history of Paris is quite bloody in the sense that, over the course of time, Paris in some form or another has been attacked, been at war, or has had riots broken out in recent years. Why would somebody want to travel to Paris? Paris is a great destination that many people should visit at least once before they die. Paris has many tourist attractions, from historical monuments to excellent cuisine to designer brands. Paris has it all, offering tourists quite the experience. According to the travel theories we covered in class, the Prague model of psychographics fits this destination from a travel theory standpoint because the tourists could be dependable and eat at McDonald's and stay at the Marriott, or be the venturer and sample French cuisine and stay at a Parisian hotel. I definitely encourage venturers to visit Paris because their day could be eating at a local cafe, exploring the Louvre, dining at a Michelin-star restaurant, and attending a theatrical production, or waking up and being more dependable and heading to McDonald's, going on a planned tour of cultural and historical monuments, hitting McDonald's, and then watching a football game in your room at the Marriott. Paris tourism and travel also relates to Kelly's theory of leisure types, in the sense that it hosts the 3 types of travel we discussed in class: leisure, visiting friends and relatives, and business travel. Business travel in Paris relates to role-determined leisure, in the sense that the traveler doesn't have any choice. He or she is stuck traveling to Paris for their job, to attend a business convention, etc., or via VAR travel when your parents drag you to Paris to visit your relatives over summer break when you really want to go to summer camp. Paris is the gastronomy capital of the world. hosting 44,000 restaurants from street food to Michelin-star restaurants and everything in between. Paris is a foodie's dream come true. It has 1,600 cafes, 630 Michelin-star restaurants, 190 bars and pubs, 38 bistros, and is home to the world's first modern restaurant, Boulanger's, which opened in 1765, serving restorative broths and a dish called sheep's feet in white sauce. Paris art and fashion, with a picture of the Louvre Museum both inside and out, and a picture of Paris fashion, including Paris is home to many fashion brands, including Louis Vuitton, Dior, Chanel, Prada, Versace, and more. Social and cultural impacts include both positive and negative in nature. Tourism, peace, and renewed cultural awareness and pride. When visiting any new place, there is always a sense of culture, and Paris is no different. While traveling abroad in Paris, tourists might experience the following: using softer voices indoors. Dining at meals is when most Parisians get together to converse over a lovely meal. It's the French version of going to a coffee shop and catching up. Parisians are also fond of art and have a sense of fashion, which is not ripped jeans, a graphic tee, and Air Jordans, but a blouse, pants, shoes, accompanied by sunglasses or a beret. Paris does a good job of keeping their city a great place to visit, making them proud of their great city. Vitality and return visits. Paris is the capital of France and is home to many tourist destinations: the Louvre, Arc de Triomphe, the Pompidou Center. It is the fashion capital of the world, home to Louis Vuitton, Hermes, Chanel, Versace, and many more desired brands. It boasts beautiful architecture, exquisite cuisine. Paris is a tourist dream come true, having many cultural experiences all in one city, bring over 30 million tourists per year to the French capital. Paris is so magical of a place, most people usually visit it more than once. Negative impacts include over-tourism, with tourist attractions being overcrowded, and crime in the forms of pickpocketing. Economic impacts include jobs. Tourism develops and opens many jobs for Parisians in restaurants, coffee shops, parks, hotels, museums, airports, and more. Creation of new businesses include the opening of many new hotels. These hotels bring a new landscape to the hospitality and tourism industry in Paris, giving tourists and locals alike a 5-star experience in the City of Lights. The city also has a revenue of 40 million euros and creates over 524,000 jobs per year. And tourism creates over 524,000 jobs per year in this city. Negative impacts include leakage, when people stay at Marriott hotels and eat at McDonald's, and job creations, with the average hospitality jobs paying between 13,900 to 25,300 euros, average being 37,900 euros, and hourly pay being 11 euros. Environmental impacts are both positive and negative. Positive impacts include choosing a green hotel, dumping your trash in a trash can, riding a bike, and eating locally. Negative impacts include traffic congestion and pollution, and dumping waste. Paris tourism organizations. Atalt France is responsible for supporting and developing tourism in Paris and other French regions on a national and international level. The regional level is done by Visit Paris Region, which is Paris's regional tourism destination board responsible for promoting the region as a tourism destination. And to round it off, we have Paris J-Time, which is Paris's Convention Visitor Bureau and Welcome Center, answering any questions about the city to Paris and giving and helping tourists and visitors plan their stay. Tourism policies and policies. Paris City Hall or Montre de Paris enacted some policies to enhance the hospitality and tourism scene in Paris. This strategy includes four main components: offering a unique experience, diversifying offering a unique experience by diversifying the tourism offering by creating new types of tourism, such as night tourism, and opening new parts of Paris for tourists. To explore. Also by reinforcing emerging sectors by including international programs for Parisian nights and creating greater awareness of the great nightlife in Paris. They're also enhancing the tourism scene by hosting a major international event at least once per year. Sharing a benevolent city. Paris is making tourists more welcome by having paper-free ticketing systems and re-implementing tourism safety with police being stationed at busy tourist attractions. Multicultural and information signs are being implemented throughout the city as well. Developing sustainable tourism. Paris will be creating more sustainable tourism transport, and number of bike paths throughout the city has risen over the past several years. Not only will there be several sustainable transport, but many businesses throughout the city will be implementing sustainability in their business practices. There will also be the implementation of environmental regulations for large events, called the Environmentally Responsible Events Charter. Paris is adding more sustainable accommodations and is working with current hoteliers to create more eco-friendly lodging and implementing sustainable practices in hotels. They're also reinforcing their great city as a successful destination by updating their convention and visitors bureaus and adding more airline capacity at their airports. The strategy was implemented by Paris City Hall in 2016. It is both environmental and distributive tourism policy by developing sustainable tourism and protecting the natural environment, as well as investing money into tourism infrastructure, such as hotels, bike paths, new tourist attractions, etc. Resource page 1, resource page 2. Thank you.